Now, in this video, okay, I want to share the different phases that we go through in a period of a month. And why I keep stressing that in a period of a month, I want us to understand that when I'm talking about the period of the month, I'm not talking from the 1st of the month to the 31st or to the end of the month. No, a month will depend on when your period is. A month starts on the first day of your period. Your month starts on the first day of your period. Yeah, let me repeat that, okay? Your month starts on the first day of your period. So it's important for you to know when is your what is your month. For an example, if your first day of your period is on the 3rd, the 3rd of let's say the 3rd of August, then the next period, chances you are going to have it 3rd of August, 28, 29, 30, around the 4th, 3rd, 4th, depending on what your cycle is. Hence it's important for you to know what cycle are you on. Are you on a 20-day cycle? Are you on a not a 20-day, are you on a 29-day cycle, which is similar to the moon? Or are you on because it varies between 29 days and 32 days, so which one are you on? That when you will know, because your body works differently. Now, the first thing that, as I've said, the first day of your period, that's when your month starts. Now, the first phase, it is that phase when you are actually releasing the blood. That is the first phase of your period. Now, on that first phase, what happens? The first phase is called the menstruation phase. That is when the actual blood comes out. And then that phase, when it's normal, it is any day between 1 to 3 days to 7 days, 2 days to 7 days. But then once it starts getting out to 10 days and stuff like that, or over 7 days, and it's still heavy, then you must know what there's a problem. There's something that needs to be done. You need to get something corrected and so forth. So that's the thing. And then number 2, that particular first day, guys, this is very important for you to know and remember. On that first day of your period, there's something that is happening within your body which is similar to what happens at 12 or 11, between 11:59 and 12 a.m. That time, it is when the day separates. It is when the end of a cycle, which is the end of the previous day and the beginning of so that is 12:00 a.m. At that time, you in your body, you are similar as in that space when you are releasing the last or ending the last cycle and starting a new cycle. That is what is happening. And when you are on that first day of the month, what is happening is the end of the last cycle. The blood that you are seeing coming out, it is the blood, it is the last layer out of the layers that gets formed within your body around your endometrium. That is the last layer. When you bleed, your body is releasing the last layer. The body starts releasing I will explain it even further. The body starts releasing the different hormones and everything that it has created in the process of trying to conceive or fertilization of an egg. So once that doesn't happen, then the body triggers a secretory sensors, and then the body will start secreting and releasing all the work that it has done, and it gets absorbed by the body. And then on your day of your first day of your period, that is actually when the body is releasing the last layer. And that last layer, it is actually the foundation, which is why your period blood is such powerful and such potent and important, and it is able to do such powerful things. Why? Because it is a foundation. So we all know with the foundation, if the foundation is not good, the whole house will have cracks, it will fall apart, and so forth. Which is why we have got to make sure, especially during that time, on your first day, you need to rest, because your body is you are in a similar position like somebody who is giving birth, who just gave birth now. Because when somebody gives birth, that is exactly what is happening. There's death that is happening, and life death is happening within, and life is coming out. So when we are on a period, there's something that is supposed to be dying, or we're supposed to be bearing on within from the previous cycle and giving birth to starting to something else, meaning that you are starting anew. You see, so that part, that first day, very, 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 very important. So from day 1 to day 5, those 5 particular days, your body is doing these 5 or these particular things. Your body is creating space, as I'm saying, it's releasing, it's creating space, it is connecting, which is now the ether, those are the elements. It connects to the 5 elements. So it's creating space, and then at the same time it is connecting with your water element and your earth element, which is why the blood, because the blood is made up of those 2 elements as well, which is, we can say, also your carbon and your hydrogen at that time. So then at the same time, what is happening, there's combustion that is happening, because that last layer, it gets broken down. That is why when you are on your periods, you'll feel as if like, there's something like this that is happening within you. That is because at that time, that's what the combustion is happening, which is the fire element that is breaking down that last layer. That is, it's releasing all of that. And last but not least, that is the movement, which is the air element that is allowing this movement to happen, and in order to create space. That's what also happens. And in those particular 5 days, then there's the plantation of the new cells that is also starts happening, which is the process called cell proliferation. That process starts, which is laying the different cells and then multiplying. Then the process of multiplication is also starting, because now proliferation is actually when the cells within a certain aspect of your body, they start increasing. So that happens as well within that particular 5 days. Hence, as a woman, you've got to rest on those particular days as much as possible, because if you do not rest, that's what causes the endometrium disorder that leads to the different womb issues that we have. I will also touch on those a little bit later. So then that's what it happens. So in those 5 days, it's very, very, very important for you to understand that's what is happening in that 5 days, and hence you need to rest. That's why in the olden days, they used to say that, or it used to be done, especially in our African context, that a woman will rest and be put aside and everything else when they are on their periods, because it is understood that at that time you are very fragile, your body is doing major work, not the distorted versions, guys, that you have heard that you were put aside because you were discriminated against and so forth. Those are pure lies that were made to make us to disconnect and get us to get our endometrium to have disorder in our endometrium, and when we have disorder, then that will lead to all these womb issues we're having. And with all the womb issues, then what does it mean for other people? It means more money, because now we have got to get the medication and so forth, which are also not even good for us. So hence, that 5 days you've got to rest, even if you do go to work, but you must make sure that the people that you stay with, they know that you're on your periods, and then you must rest. They must try and help you as much as possible within that 5 days. So that day 1 to day 7, that's when normally the period is done, and that is the cycle. But if it happens that you get on to day 10, then yeah, but you must know that there's a problem. So then after day 7, from day 1 to day 6, 7, then we can get to the next phase, which is from day 7 to day 14 or day 13, depending where you are. Then during that period, then we get to the next phase, which is called the follicular phase. Follicular phase, it's when your body starts increasing the growth hormone. The estrogen start increasing that hormone, because that is a hormone that triggers this conception, or helps with the conception of this baby, or of fertilization of this egg. So then the growth happens, and then when that growth happens, then automatically that's what is happening, which is why I personally say that women are wealth creators. They are the ones that are carrying the wealth codes, because at that time your body is doing the multiplication that we see, or it's in abundant in nature. You see, when you are in your on your periods, and plus this time of when you're starting these phases. Hence, then when you are on the follicular phase, then you must make sure that you are doing certain things that are helping, because that is the time when you are nurturing, which is why your discharge at the time will become very clear, because then we are starting afresh. Remember, even after with nature, after death, there's always a cleansing, because after winter we start a season of spring, which is also about cleansing. So that's the same thing that happens within us. Then that's why your discharge will be clear. And then after that, the 7 days is finished. Day 12 from day 14 to day 21. That's the time. That's the third phase. In the third phase, that is the time when conception must happen at that time. If you do not, an egg gets released. When the egg gets released between on day 14, then the fertilization, the egg stays within that endometrium for the period of 3 days, waiting for fertilization. If fertilization doesn't happen at that time. If fertilization doesn't happen at that time, then the body automatically triggers the secretory, the sensors that it's that secret like that releases. They start building, they're breaking down the cycle, all this that has been created. So then the process starts with the secretory phase. Then it starts increasing. It starts releasing those, and then the blood of all those hormones or all those things that are built up. Then the body starts releasing all of that and gets absorbed to the body. Now, what is happening at that time? At the phase when you are on a menstruation, that is the time that you need to be resting as much as possible, because when you're looking at how winter is, or linking this to, actually let me do another video just to link this. I'll do this one, that one after this one. So let me just finish the last phase. And then if you are trying to conceive, then you must make sure that you are having sex, especially on those 3 days when you're on your ovulation, between day 14 and day 17. You must be having sex, because that's when your body is ready to do that. But if you are not wanting a baby and you are not using any contraceptives, then you must avoid sex, particularly on those days, because that is when the body is ready to conceive anyway. Then the last phase, which is called the luteal phase. It is the phase of when the body now, as the secretion has started to happening from day 21 to day 28. That's when then your body is releasing everything else, or between that. Yeah, as I'm saying, it will depend on your cycle, but on a normal thing, from day 21, 22 to 28, or day to day 30, or whatever the period, your period is, then the body starts releasing. It starts releasing everything else that it had created, which is the phase then that when you are letting your sex libido goes down, your what do you call it, your body, your energy gets down, because you are not as highly energetic as you were when you were on your ovulation period, because now you are letting go, you are releasing, and your body knows that. So yeah, that's what is happening within that. And then when that cycle completes, then you start again your periods. You see? Then on the next video again, I will link again that, yeah, I will talk about the different cycles, or how the different cycles of the moon connect with the cycles of your menstruation cycle and the seasons of the year. That's what I'll do. Thank you.